The NFL is finally back, and with that come week-to-week predictions and ultimately game-to-game predictions. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing and breaking down Week 1 games, which means we will start with the Cowboys and the Super Bowl champion Bucs on Thursday night, and go from there on to Sunday's games. So without further ado, let's dive right in. And we begin today's video with the Cowboys at the Bucs, and immediately the Cowboys are at a disadvantage with All-Pro and future Hall of Fame guard Zach Martin already being ruled out for this game. Now, one thing to note, or at least acknowledge, is there may be more COVID players we don't know about at this point in time. However, as I record this video, Martin is the only player ruled out for this reason, and the general consensus on this game is the Bucs are the defending Super Bowl champions. They destroyed the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes the last time they played, and they will steamroll right over the Cowboys, and that is the consensus. If you're not a Cowboys fan, or to shorten the point here, the Bucs will win. And while I agree I do think the Bucs will win, I don't think it is going to be an easy win or a blowout, as at times in 2020 we certainly saw the Bucs struggle as they were down 35-0 at halftime against the Saints last year once upon a time. The Cowboys offense is lethal, and they can certainly put up points with all the players they have. I could see Dallas winning this due to all those weapons, but there is one thing that triumphs over everything, and it is something we've learned over the past 20 years. Never bet against Tom Brady. Bucs 27, Cowboys 24. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles head to Atlanta, and one thing about the Eagles and Falcons, and especially recently, is when these teams play, there are usually good close games, and I expect it to be that way on Sunday as well. I don't have high postseason aspirations for either of these teams, as they were selecting in the 4th and 6th slots in the 2021 draft before the Eagles made a few trades, meaning they each had bottom 6 finishes in 2020 in the entire NFL. Seeing both Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith at the NFL level will be something fun and exciting to keep an eye on throughout not only this game but the 2021 season, and I am also very eager to see how his career starts, and Kyle Pitts for the Falcons for that matter too. Ultimately in this game, I do expect it to be close and somewhat high scoring. Matt Ryan could throw his 350th career touchdown pass on Sunday, as he is at 347 currently, and given that this game is a bit of a toss-up, I generally go with the home team, and especially with crowds coming back. I certainly don't doubt an Eagles win to be clear, but for today's video, Atlanta 31, Philly 28. To Western New York we go to discuss the Steelers and Bills. The last time these teams played was on Sunday Night Football in December of last year, and it was in the midst of the downfall of the Steelers season after the 11-0 start. Then came the TikToks on teams' logos and everything that was December and January of the Steelers' 2020 season. Buffalo made it to the AFC Championship game last year with quarterback Josh Allen taking a major step in his career, and I certainly expect that to continue on Sunday. Now, this next part could be a controversial take and a clip to play on Monday or even after the game this week, but I don't see any way the Steelers go into the Bills Mafia in what will be the first game with crowds in over a year, or full crowd should I say, for Buffalo, and stun the Bills in Week 1, because that's what it would be, stunning. Josh Allen and the gang are legitimate Super Bowl contenders, and they start out 1-0. Buffalo 34, Pittsburgh 24. The Zach Wilson-Sam Darnold showdown is next, and I really have high hopes for this game. Vegas has the Panthers winning by 5 points, and there are some things I'd like to see from each team. I'd love to see Zach Wilson get his feet underneath him and for him to get in a rhythm and to be comfortable in the pocket behind both Mekhi Becton and Elijah Vera-Tucker. And for the Panthers, I'd like to see their defense, which, by the way, could be one of the league's best soon, make Zach Wilson really have to earn his yards and make him uncomfortable when they can. There is a lot of potential in this defense they have down there. And for the offensive side of the ball, I would love to see the return of Christian McCaffrey and see what Sam Darnold can do with NFL caliber weapons around him. Ultimately, Carolina is the better team here, and I think their defense can make it a long day for the rookie quarterback making his debut, and I will be going with Carolina 23-17. Next up is the Vikings and the Bengals, and this will be the return of Joe Burrow and the debut of his former LSU teammate Ja'Marr Chase. And while those two teaming up is going to be fun to watch over the next few years, there will be a learning curve along the way, and there will certainly be bumps in the road. And just because Ja'Marr was a very high selection and his former teammate Justin Jefferson had the rookie year that Justin did, does not automatically mean that Ja'Marr will have that type of year or even better. It honestly probably sets the bar for unrealistic expectations for Ja'Marr, and what I want to reiterate before this game is played is Justin Jefferson did not start until week 3, and that was his true first breakout performance, and up until week 3, Justin Jefferson had something like 3 catches for a combined 40 yards in the first 2 weeks of the season. Now, this is a Minnesota Vikings team that from 2020 week 17 to 2021 week 1 will be fielding a combined 15 Pro Bowls that they did not have in the roster at that point in time, and will be a much different team. I certainly expect Mike Zimmer to make it difficult all day long for Joe Burrow and to scheme up a great defensive game plan which would involve getting after the quarterback early and often. While I do think Burrow could have a great day statistically, I do think it will be the Vikings showing everyone to not forget about them, and a reminder that while Joe Burrow's future is bright, the Bengals went just 2-7-1 with him as their starter in 2020. Minnesota 28, Cincinnati 17. Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers head to Detroit in the first game of the Dan Campbell era, and this will be one to pay attention to for several reasons. How much will Trey Lance play in his debut, and really to what extent? How will Penei Sewell play in his debut after a shaky preseason and times where he was put on his rear end and where he did not look good at all, much less like a top 10 overall draft pick? And of course, what will the Lions' game plan be in their first game with Dan Campbell as their head coach? Of course, we all realize that they won't actually bite kneecaps, but when hearing that press conference, what I interpreted was this will be a team that intends to win in the trenches and wants to run the football and let everyone know that they are the alpha male physically. So for Detroit, how do they plan to accomplish all of this? Ultimately, the 49ers are a better team than Detroit, and I expect them to win, but I am eager to see how the Dan Campbell era starts in the Motor City. San Francisco 24, Detroit 13. Now we have Trevor Lawrence and the Jags taking on Tyrod Taylor and the Houston Texans, and I'm going to be honest when I say this. I do not think it's unreasonable to think that the Texans can pull this out or even win in week 1. Jacksonville went 1-15 last year, and while Trevor Lawrence is expected to be the franchise savior and everything of that nature, believe me, we've all heard it by now, he is still at the end of the day a rookie and a player that has not played at the NFL level yet. We know the Texans aren't in a good situation as a franchise, everyone knows that, but they can win this game. Will they is another question, and I think it will be close. Ultimately, I will be going with Trevor and the Jags, but I do think it will be a very close game that comes down to the wire. Jacksonville 20, Houston 17. And the final game we go to for today's video, yes, I will explain at the end, is the Seahawks at the Colts. With this game for the Colts side, I have some question in terms of injuries and players being able to stay healthy. Before week 1 even starts, the Colts seems like they've had a season's worth of injuries and COVID scares and everything of that nature, and as we know, they have, or anyone, have yet to play a regular season game. Can Carson Wentz stay healthy for a whole season, and how will he play under his head coach Frank Reich? Will we see 2017 Carson Wentz or 2020 Carson Wentz? The main difference here is we know what we are getting with Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, DK Metcalf and company, and we do not with the Colts offense. Could we get players that are very good with Frank Reich in the Colts offense? Yes. But at this point, we don't know. And for the uncertainty, I will be choosing the Seahawks to win and start out 1-0. But I do want to make the point, when you have players on an offense like Jonathan Taylor and Quentin Nelson, anything can happen. I expect Seattle to win and ultimately think that they will, but it certainly will not be an easy game for them on the road. Seattle in a very close one, 24-21. Now, as we wrap up today's video, we did 8 games today, and the other 8 games will be out Wednesday or Thursday, and the reasoning for the split is because of the time it takes to upload a video of that magnitude when it would be a 20-minute long video. Now, I could do all 16 games in a 10 or 11-minute video, but that's really not going in depth, and it would really be saying 1 or 2 points about each game, and I really like to break them down more and discuss what could go wrong, what could go right, and matchups in that game that I think will be pivotal towards the final no outcome. So anyways, that is the reasoning for the 8 games in today's video and another 8 in a video soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it would mean the world. And until next time, have a great day. Love you guys. Deuces. Peace.